Okay guys, so it's getting cold out and this car is pretty much, it runs and drives. I already drove it around the other time, actually never took a video of it, but a couple last things I have to do on it is I'm gonna swap those fuel injectors that I rebuilt. I'm gonna put new return lines and do the valve adjustment and also diesel purge. So first thing, I'm gonna do the diesel purge. I want to purge the system and clean the injection pump and all that stuff. So it's gonna be my first goal pretty much. And yeah, after that, what I'm thinking is I'm gonna start to work on the rear end of the car. I already got a lot of parts here for the rear end: the diff mount, the brake pads, parking brakes, brake rotors, stabilizer links, all that stuff. So and that's how the car looks right now. It looks pretty sick. I actually like it. And when I'm standing like this, it's basically, here's like, I'm standing like this is like my knee right here, so it kind of feels like, you know, this car is like lower than stuff, but it's actually not, but it just feels low. It's nice that it's sunny today, but it's pretty cold. So just wrapping this engine up. I did the diesel purge, replaced the filters again. This is the engine that was installed to this car, and I just did the valve adjustment right now. And guess what? Basically, all of I mean, this is just a diagram right here. I marked which valves I adjusted and which ones were not adjusted yet. So after checking the valve clearance, I mean, all of the valves were just really tight, like really, except for this valve. This is the intake valve right here. This is the only one that wasn't tight. It was actually within spec, and the other ones were supposed to be, I had to basically adjust them because they were way too tight. So everything is done right now. I'm gonna put the valve cover back on, reconnect everything, and I'm also gonna install those injectors. If you remember the video from, I rebuilt them. So those injectors were rebuilt. I put the Monarch nozzles on them, so I'm gonna install them right now on the car. And also I installed new glow plugs right here. So it's actually, you know, if you ever want to replace your glow plugs, the easiest way is to just remove the fuel lines. It just makes it really easy, because otherwise the fuel lines are in the way and you can't really do it. It's really difficult. So I did that, the glow plugs installed. Now I'm just gonna reinstall everything back and see how everything is. Okay, so the car is running. So I already took it for a test drive and I didn't film that, but it runs and drives. Still some kind of like small issues with the engine, especially when starting. You know, when it's cold, it's kind of like shaky, but right now it's not too bad. Not too much smoke. And what I'm gonna do right now, I don't want to test drive it anymore, because I'll show you why. So I'm actually planning to drive it out and drive it in forward, so the back of the car's facing right here, this way, it's facing me, and this way I can start working on the rear end of the car. Here it is, I'm inside the car. So oil pressure is fine. And I'm just gonna park it the other way. So I want to get out. Okay, let's see. Here it is, finally. Those drives. So pretty happy. So like I said, I want to start working on the rear end. So forward is gonna go. It's gonna be right there, and I'm gonna park it right here, basically. So. So, as you saw, I parked the car this way, and now I can start working on my rear suspension and stuff. And that axle is the reason why I don't want to drive it too much right now, because I want to get it fixed first. Okay. So that will get done, and then I can go for a test drive. But first I just want to fix that the ripped axle boot and be done with it. So that will be the plan. And currently I'm just trying to fix my tachometer, see if it does anything. I'm gonna put something in between here and the housing where it sits, so it's gonna be a better contact, and we'll see if it's gonna fix my tachometer. So I'll put this piece of cardboard in here, and I'll put it inside the housing. So it's gonna be hard for you to see, but it's already inside the housing. I'm just gonna plug it back in and start the car. No, that's still nothing. That didn't help, so I might have to remove the silicone and resolder it. So we'll keep looking. Okay, so sorry it's kind of dark. Starting to work on the rear suspension and all that stuff. Rear axles here. Yeah, I'll have to get a light and show you exactly, but the back of the car is jacked up. Okay, finally grabbed the light. So the front of the car right there, I don't know if you can see, but it's there's actually blocks right there. The car's not gonna roll. And what do we see here? Let's start with the brakes. I mean, not too bad. There's still some pad left. Let's look right here. But no, it's actually, oh, it's not too good, because yeah, that caliper piston boot is looking on the left side. If you look, looks really weird, and the pads, yeah, a little uneven wear. Not too bad. Oh, like always, the spider webs. Yeah, I'm just worried about this axle right now. I'm just hoping it's still okay. I might actually replace it with another one. I don't know. Back to an axle shaft. Might have to replace it, I don't know yet, but I still have to drain the differential and remove that cover to remove the C-clip from the inside. Okay, another stuff that I was gonna show you is these sway bar links. So they're garbage. Yeah, I mean, some rust, whatever, you know, what are you gonna do? Car, it's almost 40 years old and it's been driven in Illinois and Indiana all of its life. But it's not too bad. I'm actually happy because since this engine had a lot of oil leaks, which is true. If you look up there, everything is like covered in like oil, like sludge, whatever. So this is pretty good actually. It's like undercoating, almost something like that. So, and yeah, I'm gonna remove the calipers. I already loosened the axle bolt, and I'm gonna start working on it. I'm gonna have to rebuild this caliper. Hopefully the pistons come out, and we'll see how everything is. I'll have to drain the differential, all that stuff. So basically this is, as you can see, that's you know, ripped axle board is the reason why I didn't want to drive too much. And especially if you have something like that, if you have a torn axle boot, don't drive it, especially in the rainy weather. It's gonna mess everything up. That joint is gonna go bad right away. So, but hopefully, I mean, I didn't hear anything like crazy coming when from this joint when I was driving, so hopefully it's fine. I'm gonna remove it and we'll see. Okay, so already loosen the brake hose on the bottom, and then since I'll be putting the new brake hoses, I mean, I don't really care. I just you know, put the vice grip like that, right there, just like that, and so my fluid is not gonna all come out. And yeah, so 2 bolts for the caliper are out. It's just gonna be a little stuck because the pistons are probably seized. I tried to move the pads, but couldn't really do that much. And this thing is pretty seized up. I was banging on it with a rubber mallet, but it's still moved a little bit only. Yeah, the caliper's finally out, and I can remove that hose the rest of the way. I already loosened it up. Make sure you loosen it up when it's still in the car. I'm just gonna try to remove this disc brake. Hopefully it doesn't give me too much of a trouble. I feel like something's wrong with the parking brake. I mean, the parking brake is obviously, like on most of these, doesn't work. But I'll be putting new shoes on here and all the hardware and stuff. But I want to remove this guy first. Okay, so I was banging on it for a long time. Bunch of rust came out. Let me grab my PB blaster and try my PB blaster. See how it helps. Just gonna spray it right there, in here. Okay. Just wait a little bit and then try it again. So while that's soaking, I don't know, I just want to start this thing again. I just want to listen to that OM617. Let's see. Key at. So Running good. I mean, it's pretty loud because there's no exhaust on it pretty much. So I'm gonna let it run a little bit more, and yeah, I'm gonna go back and bang on this thing again. Still a bunch of small stuff left on this car, you have no idea. There's some electrical issues, all this, you know, just a lot of stuff, honestly. So, you know. Okay, so finally this thing is out. Alright. It's the back side of it. The shoes for the parking brake. It's kind of toasted. Not really, they're still left, but they're like falling apart. So yeah. Anyways, I already removed the caliper. It's right there. You have to do the same thing on the other side right now. And this side isn't so bad. Let's see. Yeah, I just pushed it a little bit and should come off. Let's see. Right here. Look at that. Pretty much no pads left, uneven wear. Pretty bad. So these need to be overhauled. Okay, so right now again, I have to grab my hammer, and the best way is actually to get it loose is to hammer on the bottom side. Let's see if that works. Look at that, it came out. Try to not breathe that dust in. The best thing is to hose everything down with water or whatever, brake clean. So yeah, and looking at the rotor, you can see that the pad wasn't actually was overheated right there actually, and the pad wasn't really like grabbing much of a surface. So anyways, so what I'll be doing is I want to remove this caliper, and I'll be overhauling the calipers too. So there will be a video on that too, probably like a tutorial or something. So make sure you check that out. And if you haven't checked that out, because I actually have a video when I did the front calipers. And when I overhauled them, so there's a video on that too. And what else? So right now, yeah, it's pretty much it for today. Just gonna loosen this caliper up from the hose and yeah, get going. I'm gonna show you again stuff right here, what I'm working. So and a couple of words about the engine. I mean, it's a used engine. It's actually got over 230,000 miles. And it looks like they changed the timing chain on this engine, but it was probably, I don't know how long ago, but looks like they have that IVIS, whatever it's called, you know, the timing chain that they sell, made in Germany. It's like $100 for that kit. So it looks like they replaced the chain. So there's the marks are actually all good, you know, they're all lined up. So I did the diesel purge, did everything on the engine, and replaced the injectors that I rebuilt with monarch nozzles, put new return hoses, new filters, oil change was done too, and yeah, but basically, and I also put new glow plugs on this thing. But the only thing that I don't really like much is when it's cold, it's kind of rough when you start it. And I know people are talking about all the. I don't want to break my tongue right here. That's why I use both hands. But anyways, going back to talking about this engine. So yeah, I mean, everything should be fine. I mean, it's just the only problem is it's kind of like rough when you start it first, but when it warms up, it's fine. It's not too bad. And you know, people are talking about that rag dampener bolt, but you know, I haven't messed with that at all. I don't know what else, but other than that, it's not bad. Runs, drives, you know. I'm happy with the results and all that stuff, so we'll see. And as you know, there's that engine that I pulled out of it, the original engine that was in this car. That engine had 2-cylinder low compression, so both cylinders had like 100 psi of compression, and that engine was kind of like even worse than this one, because that engine had, like, when you started first on cold, it would just like misfire like crazy, like this, literally. It would just misfire, you know. You could feel that, you know, maybe only 2 like cylinders firing up, but when it warmed up, it wasn't the best, but it was better. So, but you know, after checking compression, you know, that it actually tells me, you know, that, you know, that's why the engine was pretty bad on the startup. But the oil pressure and everything on that engine was good too. So my plans right now is you know, to get everything as much as possible done to this car, you know, do the rear end, you know, fix whatever other issues it has. And then I still have that engine that I removed originally from this car, and I might actually rebuild it. I don't know, I might actually disassemble the whole thing, rebuild it, you know, put new seals, new valves, everything, put new crankshaft bearings. I mean, I'm not 100% sure about that, if I'll be doing that yet or not, but I've been thinking about that. So, you know, make sure to stay tuned with that. And I'm hoping, you know, like, if I have enough budget and time and, you know, place to do that ad, then I will consider doing that. But for now, you know, the car is drivable, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, I'll just have, like I said, I have to finish a couple of other things, you know, some light issues with lights, and some other stuff, like the tachometer doesn't work. The windows were figured out already, so that's good. And just like some other issues like door stops, like for example on this guy, see how the door opens? So it's kind of like, have to figure out why it's like squeaking, and the door stop is pretty much junk. I appreciate you guys watch the videos that I post, and I apologize that I don't post too much right now, you know, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I wish I could post more. But you know, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. So, and it's right now it's getting pretty cold, and it kind of sucks to work in a car, but you know, I'm kind of used to cold, so that's fine. But you know, there's gonna be videos about this car and all that stuff. You know, I just haven't filmed much because I just wanted to get this done, because when I film, then it takes forever, you know, like, to get the work done. So yeah, anyways, let's see. So I mean, this is the current update right now. So just working on the rear end right now of the car, and still a bunch of work left to do. You know, little by little, it's, you know, getting done. It's pretty late already, so give you some shots right here too.
This video is all over the place, and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you stopping by and watching my videos. That really means a lot, um, I wouldn't be doing these videos basically if you guys were not watching, because like, what's the point of just making the videos, posting them, if nobody watches them? So thanks a lot for that, and I appreciate your support, your likes, and everything. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And sorry for my language, it's just really cold and my mouth is just getting frozen. So um, yeah, and I'll keep you updated, and probably the next video is going to be the the tutorial about rebuilding these calipers. So make sure you stay tuned, and have a happy Thanksgiving if I don't post earlier.